Pardon the interruption, but I'm Mike Wilbon. It's Friday the 13th, Tony. Anything freaky happened to you today?
I'm Tony Kornheiser now. I haven't gotten freaky in years. I got a bad hip.
They got stuff for that. It's called replacement.
Is that right? Hip replacement?
Hip replacement.
That's not a hard one. You walk out. It's not like a knee.
People say the pain is gone.
A knee replacement is much more difficult. Much more difficult. Welcome to PTI, boys and girls. In today's episode, Ole Miss gets its quarterback for another season. The NBA cracks down on the Jazz, and Jay Bilas joins us for 5 good minutes. But we begin today with the Winter Olympics. In a stunner, Norwegian cross-country skier Johannes Klæbo won his record-tying 8th gold, and the International Skating Union stood by the French ice dancing judge that Americans Madison Chock and Evan Bates felt favored the French pair that won the gold. Wilbon, which of these intrigues you the most?
French ice dancing judge conjures up everything I think is wrong with figure skating anyway. Like you sort of kidnapped me and made me watch the Quad God.
Worth it.
You know, it was, except, Tony, I don't root against anybody ever in the Olympics. It's too emotional. It takes too much of one's life, not to mention your own, but your parents and your family members and your teachers and your coaches. It's so emotional, and you're scared to see a kid fall. I know he's 21 years old. Looks like he's 17. Looks like he could live in one of the bedrooms in my house. Yeah. He's a kid. And so when he went down, and then he falls the second time with an easier jump, and you just go, okay, now I can't watch anymore.
Did you watch it standing up or sitting down?
Sitting.
I had to walk around to watch it. I was very nervous because what I like most about this kid is he embraces the notion of being called Quad God.
He had a t-shirt.
And he wants to show, and he wants to show it. And in the team competition, he totally showed it, and he brought the Americans into the gold situation. He's out there knowing that his main rival from Japan has fallen, and he is in silver position. So if he's upright, he wins the thing, and he falls twice. And your heart goes out to him because you don't expect that to happen at all. And you watch, what did he finish, 6th?
He finished off the podium.
Something like that.
You know, remember, I'm going to go back a ways, years and years and years. You might have been there writing about this for the Washington Post. When Debbie Thomas fell.
Yeah, I remember that. I wasn't writing, but I remember.
Okay, I remember just thinking, I'm done. I'm not watching any more of this. There's too much of an emotional investment, even as a spectator at the Olympics, when something that delicate.
If he stands upright, he's going to win. But he went out. No, he didn't. No, he didn't. And I was rooting for him.
Finland beat Sweden, and Finland needed to win to sort of climb back into play. Slovakia is 2-0 and ahead of Finland and Sweden in the standings.
So you don't want to talk about the French judge who replaces the fragile French judge?
You know, you made fun of me for this for years. I attacked the French judge going back to the 90s. This is awful.
Well, you know what?
What?
I mean, there were reports about how this particular French judge wanted the French team to win so much, and it was a pattern of behavior in other competitions. And she would downgrade the Americans to make that happen.
Am I exonerated now?
But I remember, Mike, when the highest score and the lowest score were tossed. And that would make this not viable. Not viable at all,
so
what she did.
Was it 2002, the last country? I was there for that. That was Salt Lake City. I'm exonerated. Declaring it myself. Let's turn to college football, where Ole Miss just picked up his first win of the season in court. Quarterback Trinidad Chambliss, last season's SEC passing leader, was granted an injunction by a Mississippi State judge that allows him to play a 6th season this coming fall. Tony, what does this mean for Chambliss? What does it mean for Ole Miss?
Wait, a 6th year?
Yeah.
You get a 6th year, and if I understand correctly, the judge who ordered the injunction is from Oxford, which is the home of the University of Mississippi, and he went to Ole Miss Law School, and that sort of seems unfair, like the French judge doing what she did.
Well, suppose he'd gone to Mississippi State, then what?
Okay, but he didn't.
Okay,
but he didn't. Don't be exonerated and get carried away. All right, here we go. This is clearly good for Ole Miss, no matter who the coach ends up being, because they get back the quarterback that led them to the finals of the college football
and
playoffs.
made himself a star.
Right. And it is good for the kid because I understand he's getting $5 million in NIL.
Not getting that in the NFL. Not this year.
And he's getting another prep year for the NFL,
Great point.
which is a good thing to do. And to be fair, if I understand this correctly, Chambliss has played games in 3 seasons. So to me, if you get what is in essence a 4th season, that's within the parameters to me. But do you know about the Montana kid?
Yeah.
Is
he the 8 or the 9-year kid?
No, 9.
There's an 8 and there's a 9.
He's a linebacker.
Yeah.
He's getting a 2nd year at Montana after he had 7 at USC. He's going to be 26 years old this month. You know who he was with in the recruiting class when he was in high school? Micah Parsons. And now he's still in college.
Parsons is going to be in the Hall of Fame, and this kid is going to be just coming out of college.
It's amazing. He is a professional college football player. When he fills out a form and they say occupation, it's professional college football player.
I'm conflicted here because the reasons you point out are reasons to sort of make fun of this whole thing. But I feel guilty making fun of people, anybody, for going to school. I don't want to do it.
He doesn't actually go to school.
No, you don't know that. Well, it
seems like a
multiple
lot,
degrees. How many degrees could you and I have in 9 years? But
this is the softest Wilbon I have ever encountered.
But
you have been changed by the Olympics and by college athletes.
Yeah, I feel bad watching those people fall on the ground.
Yeah.
Ice, that's why I don't go to the skating, and you know this, and yet you kidnapped me and made me watch.
Because
you made me watch this.
Look, it's a terrible ending. That kid was worth it. He was worth it. He does something that nobody has ever done. The quad axle, is that what it is?
Now,
nobody's ever done it, and he does it. Well, he didn't do it this time. You know what? Drake May had a great year and a bad ending.
Yep.
Let's go to the NBA. Not speaking of Drake May, because he's not in the NBA. Last night, the league fined the Utah Jazz $500,000 and the Indiana Pacers $100,000 for the crime of sitting healthy players during games. Adam Silver said, quote, overt behavior like this that prioritizes draft positions over winning undermines the foundation of NBA competition, and we will respond accordingly, unquote. These fines grow from Utah sitting their starters in multiple 4th quarters and from Indiana not playing players who the league has deemed could have played under the NBA's medical policy. Wilbon, do you think fines like this will be an effective deterrent to tanking?
Now I'm really going to annoy you. I'm going to go to a place you can't imagine I'm going.
Go ahead.
I don't give a damn about tanking. You know what I care about? Load management. Because you know what? Only 2 or 3 teams are tanking. Let's say you say 5.
I would say 6 or 8.
6 or 8. How many load manage?
10 to 12 to 14.
No, 30.
You think so? Okay.
All 30 at some point. Golden State has said to Steph Curry, no, you're not playing because we got 3 games in the next 5. No. So you have a league.
You think that's a worse crime?
It's a much larger crime to spend money in all summer. People spend money to get tickets to go to certain games. They want to see these guys, and they can't see them. All 30. Load management.
It's the same with
and
tanking.
they're not going to do jack about load management.
So let me get to this. These fines are a joke. Adam Silver is laughing when he announces these fines. What is $500,000 to a team like Utah with a payroll of $154? You can find it in a couch in the NBA.
Okay.
And a $100,000 fine is even more ridiculous. You want to have a deterrent with a fine? Start at $10 million.
Okay.
And even then, if the guy at the end of the rainbow is Wembanyama, somebody's going to pay the $10 million.
Yes,
they are.
It's worth more than $10 million.
Mike, I would not fine anyone. I would take away the draft pick. I would say after the lottery, you go down 10 spots and see how that pick
lawsuits
tastes.
galore. But why is it more important to identify those 3 to 6 teams as opposed to all 30 who load manage, who take people for the whole game? Not at least if I paid the damn money and the kid played for 3 quarters, I get to watch the star play for 3 quarters.
I will answer this.
All right.
Because load management does not affect all the games on the schedule. It affects them randomly. If you're trying to lose, like the local NBA team, the Washington Wizards, are trying to lose, it affects, and you're selling season tickets, Really? To a team that is trying to lose. Here's their record in the last 3 years, 47 and 170. The coach, the general manager, the director of basketball operations should be fired, and none were fired because the owner is tacitly saying or actively saying we're tank.
All I'm saying is that affects far fewer teams and therefore the product of the league than all 30 sitting somebody some nights.
Let's take a break. When we come back, as Kansas gets set to face fifth-ranked Iowa State, what should we expect from Darren Peterson? We're going to ask Jay Billis.
We'll also ask him where he slots Arizona among the best teams in college hoops.
I'm so proud of you that you watched the skating.
I watched that.
And that's good for you.
40 players in the NBA in 1985 played all 82. How many do you think last year?
2.
11.
All right, so I underbid. Time to check in on the college basketball season, which apparently is already in progress. We welcome in our great friend, the dashing ESPN basketball analyst, Jay Billis, and we start with this. You're at #1 Arizona for tomorrow's game with number 16 Texas Tech. Arizona just lost for the first time this season. Where do you have the Wildcats among the top 3 or 4 teams in the country?
I have Arizona right with Michigan as the best team. And I don't think there's a lot of separation between those two, but I think there is a little bit of separation between Michigan, Arizona, and everybody else. That's not to say they can't be beaten. Heck, if Kansas could play every game at Allen Fieldhouse, if the NCAA tournament were played at Allen Fieldhouse, Kansas would win the national championship, but they don't get to play all their games there. But Arizona and Michigan are the 2 biggest teams. They're the 2 best paint scoring teams. They're the 2 best paint protecting teams. Michigan probably shoots more threes. They definitely shoot more and make more threes than Arizona does. But Arizona's legit. They just have 3 guys in their starting lineup that are freshmen. Now, they're outstanding freshmen. 2 of their top scorers are freshmen. And that's one difference between them and Michigan. Michigan's more experienced throughout their roster.
Jay referenced Kansas. Kansas, of course, beat Arizona Monday. And they did it without star freshman Darren Peterson. He's missed quite a few games, injury, illness. Bill Self calls it a string of bad luck. But how do you see the whole Peterson situation?
You know, Michael, it's a little bit of a curious case. You don't see this very often. Peterson did a few games with a hamstring and then with cramping. And then the last game that they played against Arizona, he had the flu. And the doctors told him better that you don't play and better than you don't sit on the bench and infect everybody else on the team with the flu or flu-like symptoms, whatever they called it. Darren Peterson is legit. Like, he's the real deal. Anybody who's seen him play knows that. He's the most effortless scorer. I mean, I think he scores it easier than any player I've seen since Kevin Durant played at Texas. But he hasn't been available. And I think he doesn't talk much. It's not that he doesn't talk at all, but he doesn't talk much. And as a result, I think a lot of people are talking for him and making judgments as to why he's playing, why he's not. I personally don't do that. I tend to trust doctors when they say don't play. And if he's hurt, he's hurt. But there's no argument when he plays, there's no one more talented, especially on the offensive end. And I think he's the front runner to be the #1 pick in the NBA draft, but it's going to be a close call.
Yesterday, we learned that Caleb Wilson suffered a broken hand and is going to be out. I think the word indefinitely has been used. I mean, this is a huge blow, obviously, to the Tar Heels. Speaking of top of NBA draft, even though he's only a freshman. It is not yet March, Jay. What do you expect as we sort of navigate this ground between now and then?
It's going to be difficult for North Carolina without Caleb Wilson. He's their leading scorer, leading rebounder. I mean, he's had more 20-point games than any freshman they've had in program history to this point in the season. So without him, it's not like any other player, whether it's Henry Vesar or Seth Trimble or you name it, has to put a cape on and all of a sudden become Superman to try to replace him. That's not how that's going to work. But I think everybody has to expand their roles a little bit, and it's got to be a collective thing. It's not necessarily a next man up. It's every man has to do more. Just because Caleb Wilson's not going to be in the lineup doesn't mean Carolina can't win. They can still win. They're going to have to do it a little bit differently. It's certainly a blow. You'd rather have one of the 5 best players in college basketball, which I think Caleb Wilson is, in your lineup. But they lost Seth Trimble earlier in the year. He's back. It's something that they can deal with. I don't know that they're necessarily going to be as good, but they can still win. And if he's able to come back, I think the hope is.
We will get you out of here on this. A judge this week denied Charles Bediako an injunction that would have let him continue playing at Alabama. You are a lawyer. Where do you think we will end up on players putting their pro pursuits on hold to return to college?
I think, Tony, we've got an issue where the NCAA doesn't have eligibility rules that are based on any principle. There's no age limit in college sports. I'm not saying there should be, but people are complaining about that. And we have similarly situated players that are treated differently. You have international players that never matriculated to college but played pro basketball and made a lot of money, and they're eligible. And you've got players that international in nature, didn't go to college, went through the draft, and the NCAA deems them eligible. I don't see a major difference between Charles Bediako and those players, except for the fact that he went to school. And I have a little bit of a problem with the way this has been handled. Certainly the way it's been criticized. Like, Charles Bediako didn't do anything wrong. He just wants to go to school and play ball. But and I'm not sure Alabama did anything wrong either, honestly. He got a court ruling. They let him play while the court said he was eligible. They're not playing him when the court ruled that he's not. But in my view, if the NCAA wants to make this about players of a certain age, then say that college sports is for undergraduate students only, and you have a 6-year window after your high school class graduates. Problem solved. At least that would be based on some kind of principle. But there's so many exceptions out there, and the NCAA is making those exceptions, that to single out Charles Bediako of Alabama as some sort of villain in this, I think has been wrong on the part of those that have done that.
Thank you for being with us, Jay. Hope you're with us a lot more this year. Thank you.
See you soon.
Thank you.
Get more of Jay on College Game Day starting at 10 a.m. Eastern. We will take one last break, but still to come. Could the college football playoff jump straight to 24? 24 teams?
No.
24?
And a few thoughts on my man Chris Paul and his decision to call it.
24?
Come on.
16 I can live with.
Speaking of
24?
who needs a commissioner more, college basketball or college football?
I think college football.
You think so?
I do. Brings
stuff like
brings
this.
in more money, and there's more moving parts. There's more moving
more
parts.
money in there.
Yeah, brings in more money. Happy time, people. Happy 36th birthday, Nathan Eovaldi. The right-handed starter is back with Texas this season and apparently healthy after hernia surgery. He threw a bullpen session this week. Eovaldi was shut down last August with a record of 11-3 and a 1.73 ERA. The Rangers are Eovaldi's 6th team. He entered the majors with the Dodgers in 2011, then went to Miami, the Yankees, Tampa Bay, and Boston before Texas. Eovaldi was on World Series winners with the Red Sox in 2018, where he did inspirational work out of the bullpen in that series, and with the Rangers in 2023, where he started and threw 6 scoreless innings in a series-clinching game. Eovaldi's career record is 102-84. His ERA is 3.89. He's a 2-time All-Star.
Having a nice career. But if starters can move around like this, does it mean baseball has simply made them irrelevant?
I don't
less
think,
relevant?
I think a great starter is not irrelevant at all. Not irrelevant
hope
at
you're
all.
right.
Happy anniversary, Cooper Kupp. On this day 4 years ago, the former 3rd-round pick from Eastern Washington was named Super Bowl MVP after making 8 catches for 92 yards and 2 touchdowns in the Rams' 23-20 victory over Cincinnati. Kupp's 33 receptions in 4 playoff games that year set an NFL record for a single postseason. When the Rams released Kupp in 2025, he went to Seattle, where he just had 6 catches for 61 yards in the Super Bowl, and that made Kupp the first player to lead 2 different teams in receiving yards in a Super Bowl win. Kupp changed his route on the 4th quarter touchdown pass to A.J. Barner so as not to run into him. Quote, "We almost had a complete disaster, but we got it done," Kupp said.
I'll take Cooper Kupp on any roster at any time, but he's not Puka Nacua.
He's not.
It's amazing to have those 2 thoughts. I'll have him, but this other guy.
Happy trails, Chris Paul. Paul announced his retirement today just after the Raptors waived him. This was not unexpected, as Paul had previously announced plans to retire at the end of the season. The point guard started this one with the Clippers, but that ended horrendously when he and head coach Ty Lue not even on speaking terms. While Paul never won an NBA title during his 21 seasons, he made 12 All-Star teams, 11 All-NBA teams, 9 All-Defense teams, won 2 Olympic gold medals, made the NBA's 75th anniversary team, and is a lock for the Hall of Fame.
One of my favorite athletes of all time, Tony. And people talk about making folks better, and it's overused. Chris Paul went places that people didn't think they could be nearly that good and made guys better on that team. I think he can still do it to some degree this year in the playoffs if he wants.
Quick to the big finish.
Let's
The
do it.
court ruled that Brian Flores' suit against the NFL is not bound by arbitration and can move to open court. Is that a big deal?
It could be, we don't know for certain, but it could be. An arbitrator ruled the NFLPA's annual ownership report cards violate the collective bargaining agreement and can no longer be published. Your thoughts?
I feel bad because I used to like when they said certain teams had bad food. The Big Ten is reportedly circulating a 24-team college football playoff proposal.
Please,
Get there?
no,
Okay.
no, stop it. In women's hoops, Texas lost to Vandy, and Longhorns coach Vic Schaefer said, quote, "We have no heart. We're not tough. It's probably the softest team I've had in years," close quote. Then he added it was his fault. What?
What's with these coaches lately? This guy and Tang and
They're
Tennessee
just
women's coach.
trashing
Stop
their
it.
team.
Last one, NBA All-Star Weekend is upon us. What element most intrigues you?
Just a three-point shot is all they got left for me.
Is that right?
Yeah.
There's a lot more programming than that. We're out of time. Try to do better the next time. I'm Tony Kornheiser.
I'm Mike Wilbon. Have a great weekend, knuckleheads. Anybody got the stones to bench Bad Bunny like I did?
No.
I doubt it.
You're the king.
Bonus topic.
All right, Wilbon, what will you remember the most about Chris Paul's career?
Tony, I don't even know where to start. I've known Chris Paul since he was 18 years old, and he was going to Wake Forest. And through a series of things that happened in lives, Chris Paul and I became friends. And I do mean close friends, to the point where he asked me to edit his book, 61, which we did a couple of years ago, a New York Times bestseller, thank you. And so I've been there with a front row seat.
Humble brag. I like the way you did
Yeah,
that.
Chris wouldn't do that, but I did.
That's good.
I had a front row seat to his whole adult life and his family's life. And he did not win a championship, and that will come up high in any assessment of his career. That is not what comes up first to me. He led a Phoenix team, which had only been to the finals twice ever, to the finals in 2021 with Devin Booker and Chris Paul on that team. He led an OKC team that was supposed to go nowhere to something. He led a Clippers team, which had never done anything in the playoffs, to a Game 7 win over San Antonio. Might have been defending champion San Antonio once. So there's all these great accomplishments. All-star, leader in assists, leader in steals. If you check any list, Chris Paul among point guards is going to be way up there at the top. And so, but I think leading the Suns to the finals, I know they lost to Milwaukee and Giannis, but leading the Suns to the finals for me is the highlight.
Here is how high he goes with assists. He's a second all-time in assists to John Stockton. Second all-time.
Second in steals.
You are close with him,
Yeah.
and I appreciate that. So you can fill in the blanks here. What I remember most is there was a time when he was traded to the Los Angeles Lakers. And the league office, David Stern, said, no, he's not going. And it looked like he was going into a situation where he could win a championship.
Yeah.
What happened with that?
David Stern decided that for basketball reasons, which he never cleared up, at least not on the record, that he was just basically denying the trade. He was just going to stop it.
Because the league was running the New Orleans team.
The New Orleans team, right.
Where
He
Chris
was
Paul
the de
was
facto
playing.
GM,
Right.
David Stern was.
Right.
Talk about a massive conflict of interest. And to me, one of the things that David Stern was a brilliant commissioner for a long, long time, this was a mark against. And you tell me that Chris Paul and Kobe Bryant can't win a championship? Really? Of course they could have.
So let's get to all-time small point guards.
Okay.
The number one guy is Isaiah Thomas.
Yeah.
And he has won
two.
multiple championships.
1, 2.
Chris Paul would be put in that category of all-time small point guards.
With John Stockton?
With John Stockton, neither of whom
Neither of whom.
has won. And I would tell you that sports is cruel. And we remember who won, and we remember who lost. And Chris Paul is on the wrong side of that remembrance.
Yep. No, Tony, absolutely. And I wonder now what he's going to do. Chris is a talented man. And, there are all kinds of things. There could be leadership in sports. There could be certainly television. There could be coaching and administration. There could be all kinds of things. I don't know. We haven't discussed it that much because he was still playing.
So you don't want to open up a restaurant with him? Because that's my default position all the time. Open up a restaurant. Yeah, okay.
What city? Where we going? You coming?
Sure.
Okay. Gotta get
If the
on a
food is
plane.
free.
I knew we were getting to that. That's it. We're done. Back to you.